I went away for about a week. I got back early, well, late last night, early this morning. It was after midnight, so let's say this morning. And I woke up this morning, or later this morning. Anyway, I did a water change because when I tested the tank, um, I found this. Yep, that's right. It's finally cycled. When I left about a week ago, I tested the water and the ammonia. I noticed the ammonia levels was going down. I had something as high as 40 parts per million, and it was going down. I think I got somewhere in the 20 range. So I tested the nitrite. I was getting a little bit happy, and I tested the nitrite, and the nitrite still came out that Smurfy blue, but it looked like it wanted to change into a purplish color, which would be the next level. So I got a little excited about that, and then I left. I forgot about the tank. My wife, she topped up the water a bit. I keep the level the way I show the level of my tank, or know the level is right there. I kind of keep it. You see that heater? I keep the water level right there, above the bottom of the. It's a little higher than I normally keep it, but not over the top of the heater, but somewhere in the middle there. So when I got home, it was just about at the bottom. But anyway, I noticed a couple of my plants had started melting, and I believe I lost some of the Ludwigia. You see that guy there? It's kind of melted. There's some bubbles still all in the plants and in the tank because of the water change. The cardinal is doing well. You can see all of that green on the top is new growth. And yeah, I saw there's one snail in there. I think that's Timmy. And then there's another one there. I think that's Gary. Well, Gary was the little one. I haven't spotted him yet. But anyway, yeah, look at the four-leaf clover. It kind of melted away, leaves went away. But look down here, there's some new growth coming right out of the sand. And you can see the roots. So I'm really happy about that. You're gonna see I think it's a Java moss that's just in different areas around the tank. I read that you could just leave that stuff in there and it'll adhere. Some of it is just floating by, but I have some in some areas. Is that another snail? I believe that is a bigger snail. So maybe, where was Gary? Somewhere in there. Oh yeah, they're right there, Gary. Little fishies are doing okay. I think I still have 7. I lost another one, and the Luigi, I had one back here somewhere that had melted away. I think you can see a little strand of it back there. So I'm just gonna leave it put. I'm gonna leave it be. The pennywort is doing really nice. It's reaching all the way to the top of the tank, to the surface. And before I did the water change, there were a couple of leaves that were above the water line. So that was really encouraging. The same thing with this Ludwigia here. Like I said, I filled it up a little more than what I normally keep it at. But yeah, so the tank is finally cycled. The water looks a little bit cloudy because, that happens after a water change, and maybe, partially due to the cycle. There was a layer of algae on the glass, which you see my algae magnet there. Uh, I'll show you the brand. It's a really strong magnet. Yeah, you can see the brand there. So the filter, I'll have to get some of those cartridge refills, but it's just like I said, to polish the water. And the duckweed has kind of subsided a bit. I think most of it is trapped inside that filter and then in the filter intake. But everybody else is doing good. The Sagittarium or Sagittarius, I can't remember all the names of the plants. The ferns are doing well. The Asian fern, Java fern, the Anubias is doing well. The baby, what did I call it? The bamboolet is doing good. And this guy, wow. Really pretty. You can see some new growth there. Those bright green leaves are new growth. And I believe that's the repens. It was floating or somewhere up there, so I just stuffed them in there. It's doing really nice. And so in all, and look at that Sagittarius. That one is grown considerably since I put it in. It was smaller than this one, which has also grown. So I'm seeing some growth, which is really encouraging. I can't wait for the Java moss to take off. The wood, the branches, the staghorn and his buddy over here, the two buddies over here that I found out on the side of the highway. They're doing okay. I haven't, that film that was growing, that layer of film or slime is not there anymore. I don't know if it's oh, there's another snail there. The snail's chowing down on it or whatever. But, at some point I might start adding the root tabs. I'm gonna let it, do its thing. And as far as the cardinal, someone had asked about the highlight plants, in order for them to stay purplish red or red, you need a really strong light. And so my wife, this is the Tradescandia zebrina. This one, we had to clean it up. There were a lot of leaves that were falling off, and she took some of the ones that looked healthy and put it in a little pot or in a jar of water. And this is the result. It's nice and strong. I mean, that thing is about 10 inches high, and those leaves are really vibrant. And so they're purple underneath, like the mama plant. So I'm gonna see if she can help me propagate this cardinal. And then I have a plant grow light that I used for these plants before. I might situate it somewhere over there in that corner. I do have another bit of the cardinal somewhere in here. I said it in the first video that I was gonna break it into two parts, and I actually did. It might be in the back, I'm not sure. But then the other 4-leaf clover that I had back there, you see that thing is browning. But then on the bottom, new growth. So that's really encouraging. And you see that's the cardinal, and that's one of the repens, I believe. So, I thought I'd just do a quick update for those of you who are following along. Now that the tank is cycled, thinking about getting, maybe some Amaro shrimp to put in there. So that I could get ahead of any algae issues. Like I said, there was some algae that I saw that grew on the glass, and I kind of cleaned it off right before I did the water change, so I could kind of suck most of it out with the water. I did a 70% water change, and I'm looking at the tank and not filming right. I'm sorry. I did a 70% water change on this, so about 70%. The water level was maybe down this much. And I'm guessing that's about 25 gallons in there. So with the 70% water change, the nitrates went down from, I think, 40. Let me just check. Instead of let's get the test kit out and see if I can do this quickly instead of just trying to guess or remember. Have a beautiful mind. Yeah, so it was right in the 40 parts per million on the nitrate. I'm just going to call them traits. So the ammonia was 0, as you saw. The traits was 0, and then the traits was right around that between 20 and 40 ppm. And so after the water change, it went down to 5 ppm, which is good, especially in the planted tank. So yeah, next thing I'm going to do after this is I'm just going to keep an eye on the pH of the water and make sure, it's slightly acidic. I believe that's below 7 on the pH range. Last time I checked, it was between 6.8 and 7. So that's good for a planted tank. And I'll do another update video when I decide to get some fish and shrimp. Maybe, I don't know if I'm gonna do any more snails at this point, because I want to have them to have enough food before I start adding the cleanup crew. So the shrimp for me will just be decorative. They will eat any detritus or food that I put in the tank for the fish. So Might get a a little school of cardinals and some, maybe some neons, and I don't know what else. But let me know what you think I should put in the tank. But anyway, it's an update. Big Brisk TV. If you like videos like this, oh, and I'll link the videos that led up to my tank being at this point, and do also a timeline if you want in the description. So be sure to check that out. Leave me any comments that you may have in the comment section, and hit that thumbs up. It really helps the channel get the word out there so that other people who may be novices to planting tanks like me can go on my journey, and hopefully I did it so you don't have to do it. So you know what mistakes not to make. But so far, I mean, everything's coming up Millhouse. So Big Brisk, Big Brisk TV. Hit that subscribe button, cost you nothing, and I'll catch you on the next one.